Okay, so it's been a while since I did not film a video, or maybe like I have not published one video because I have been filming, but I was thinking about different things, and especially because I'm at a stage in my life where I have been thinking especially about my self-worth, my acceptance of myself, and what is the reason behind this YouTube channel. When I started it, I just wanted to get more confident on camera. I wanted to be more able to speak on different topics, like I wanted to be more fluent on certain topics, have a better communication in English, and not just in English, like in general, have a better communication, be able to discuss topics, keep myself busy with something that would allow me to develop some level of confidence. And today I felt like 2 videos per week was too much, and that was putting too much pressure on me, and at the same time I was not really delivering the kind of information that I wanted to deliver. So I took some time off, and I have been thinking about my self-worth, my acceptance of myself, because it's been like a few months since I am divorced finally, and I have been thinking about what direction to give to my life from now onwards. And another thing is also that I do write articles on Medium from time to time, and I felt that having too much to do on YouTube did not allow me to work on that creative side of my work, and I was missing that a lot as well. So, but I have come to the conclusion that I would like to publish only 1 video per week, and that too related to some aspects that I'm going through, some self-reflection, so that I can feel more connected with myself. Life post-divorce can be quite troubling sometimes. It can be unstable, it can be difficult to find a purpose, to find goals, and to keep yourself grounded at the same time, to find some new values that you can stick to, and to have a kind of intentional life that you would like to have. So that is why I have been thinking a lot about all of this. And so what I have concluded out of all of this thinking and reflection is that I would like to give more time to writing. I would like to give more time to also my work and studying and doing other things that bring me a lot of happiness as well, like spending time with my kids, like creating different decorative pieces and stuff like that, which I have not been able to do for quite some time. And all of this is part of your self-care, the time that you spend with yourself. I have been working hard also to think about every single thing that I would like to keep out of my mind, and that has dictated my life for a very long time, which is the expectations of other people. So this is going to be a video where today I will be talking about the self-worth, self-acceptance. How do you come to an acceptance of your own self, which is unconditional, which is regardless of the results that you are having. And at the same time, I would like to talk about my own struggle with self-acceptance, especially post my decision of divorce, because that is something that is not even accepted in certain communities like in mine. Along with that, I will be, once I have tackled all those issues, I will be giving you 20 ideas of self-care that you can practice indoors or outdoors, and that you should practice to take care of yourself, to take care of your mind, and also to connect with yourself, because it's extremely important in this busy world around us where we have too much an overflow of information to just get some time out for yourself and do something that is close to your heart. So let's get started. And if you are new, I am Sadaf. I'm a single parent to 2 kids, and I make videos to inspire and empower women. And since I'm giving a new direction to my YouTube channel and to my life, my videos are still going to be about habits, goals, positivity, but I will be posting only once a week on Fridays, and it is going to be longer videos with more self-reflection, with more parts of my own personal story and whatever I have learned in this journey of life. So subscribe to my channel and grab a cup of coffee or tea like me. This is a detox tea, and let's get started. Okay, so talking about self-worth, first of all, my self-worth was deeply impacted throughout the process of my divorce, and it was a phase of 6 years which was extremely difficult and testing on all different levels, emotional, mental, financial, and of course like all levels. That means every single thing. And when you are going through a phase like that, you feel that the person or the version of the person that you have become during that phase is the person that you are. But in reality, you are simply struggling to survive. You are simply struggling to get out of a situation which is difficult, which is extremely hurtful, and it is even destroying you at a certain level. And I thought a lot about this because 6 years is a long time, and that is enough for you to start identifying with this person that you have become during this phase of your life. And I did not want to allow that to happen. These years have been extremely difficult. Divorcing a narcissist is one of the most brave things that I have ever done in my life. And I think that any person who has gone through this kind of divorce can understand what it is and how it feels. It is terrible. And finding yourself afterwards is an entire journey of its own. But I'm extremely grateful and very happy that it is the end and that I have been able to finally manage things in a way that I'm quite satisfied with. But now, at this point in my life, it was very important for me to re-identify myself, and I did make a video a few weeks back about reinventing yourself, and that is exactly the process that I am going through right now. I am reinventing myself. I am taking some time to think about what direction am I going to give to myself, to my life, and is the person that I used to be 2 years back or 3 years back, or this very weak person who had absolutely no voice of herself and no opinion or of herself, and who had entirely lost herself during this process. And even before that, you know, when you are in an abusive relationship like that, you completely lose your own identity. You don't know who you are, and you don't know what you like and what you don't like. And I was emptied, completely emptied of my own soul and of the person that I am. And while thinking about all of this, I just thought that even though my self-worth used to be defined by how other people thought of me and whether I was meeting the requirements of other people or not, I am finally so tired of that I really want to give myself a new direction, and I want to be entirely and completely in charge of the person that I am. So who is it that I want to be, and what is my self-worth? Am I making too much effort on YouTube, on writing articles, and on studying different things simply because I want to prove something? Is this because I want to prove my self-worth, that I can do this and I can do that? And even though that was the case initially, and it has been the case for many years, today I did not want that to be the reality of my life. I was tired of constantly pursuing goals simply to prove my worth, and that's why I took some time off and I connected with myself. So all those days that I was not here, which is not a long time, like I did not publish my second video last week, and this week I'm only publishing on Friday when I normally do on Monday or Thursday. From now onwards, it's going to be on Fridays. I will be publishing one video on Friday and also an article on Medium on Friday. But this is going to come entirely from a place of extreme love for myself and for the fact that I do have this potential and that I do have this talent that I would like to develop further, and there are skills that I would like to develop. Even though initially my intention was to build confidence in front of the camera, which I think that I'm more or less comfortable with today, but now the idea is really to reflect on my life and reflect on myself and keep sharing what I am learning along the way. So it is an absolutely beautiful journey that I am very excited to start, because now it is not for anyone, it is not to prove anything, but it is simply because this new person that I am, I just want to live like this. I want to make videos and share parts of my life, and I want to grow as a person while making those videos. I want to inspire women that even though there are phases of your life when you have gone through so much hatred and so much difficult time, and once that comes to an end, it's very difficult to free yourself from that entire process. but it is totally possible, and if you make the effort, you can give yourself a new identity. You can shift your life entirely, and that's what I'm very excited to do, because I have been very anxious lately. I have been experiencing a lot of anxiety, and this is something that I would like to share in another video, because I felt that I also read some book, I did some research, and finally what I realized was that I had developed this habit of being anxious for no reason. And that was a very eye-opening revelation for me. And I will make a video on that, because anxiety is something that preoccupies many of us. And if you manage to learn a few little tools and techniques, you will be able to get rid of it once for all, and you will be able to handle it properly. You know, every single time that you feel anxious, you will be able to know what tool to use in this moment so that you can get rid of that. So anyway, coming back to the self-worth story, after doing all of this reflection, I have finally decided to do things from a place of love. And I have come to conclude that my self-worth comes from the fact that I am determined to change myself. I am determined to become a better version of myself, regardless of what people think or say about me. I am determined to beautify my personality, polish it, to get better, and I am also determined to, it is a lot of determined, but I definitely am determined to develop my skills and work on my potential and maximize my potential, use it in every way that I can. Maybe that was inhibited in the past, and that's the reason why I feel the need today to use it a lot more. But I do want to do this along with traveling, along with having beautiful experiences, and of course making those videos and sharing parts of my life here on this channel. And there are so many things that I have not been able to do in the past, so I am very excited to start this journey. So in terms of my self-acceptance, I do accept the fact that whatever happened in the past happened for a reason, and there are so many lessons that I have extracted from my experience of divorce and divorcing a narcissist and every single thing related to it. Truly, it has been a very intense experience and devastating, but also very enriching experience. So no matter what, I am not going to allow myself to fail in the face of this experience, and all I'm going to do is to give a new start and a fresh start to my life. And so for this self-acceptance, I have been doing different healing practices at home since I have some time on hand. I have been doing meditations and journaling and different stuff like that, and they are all extremely helpful. And I'm very happy that I'm getting to know myself so much more today than I have ever known myself in the past. So it is great. And now let's move on towards some self-care activities that I have been practicing. I have researched some self-care practices that are extremely helpful for you to do indoors, outdoors. I have divided them into outdoor high energy activities, outdoor low energy, and then indoor high energy and indoor low energy. And most of them I have already practiced, but there are others that I would like to get started with. So let's move towards those self-care activities. Okay, so starting with outdoor high energy activities, the number one is to take a day trip to a new city, to a new place. I have done this plenty of times in the past. I have reserved like little getaway weekends, even with a night. Actually, I used to stay at this place that I absolutely did not know anything of. And all I did was to take the cheapest flight to a new place and get up early in the morning, like at 4 sometimes, to take the flight at 6. And so I arrived at the airport and I just took the plane and I went to another place. And by the way, I used to work like until late on Friday. And then the next day I was in another completely different city. I had no idea. Since I live in Europe, I can allow myself to travel in different cities in Europe. And it was a wonderful experience every single time. I have done that multiple times. I have done that like 4 or 5 times. And it's always been great, because the idea is that you go to a new city, you go to a new place, as soon as you change the structures that you have around you, when you are in a new place, you get the energy and the vibe of this new place, and it rejuvenates you automatically. But along with that, what I really like is that you know absolutely no one, and you can just walk around without worrying about anything, and you can discover those places, and you eat whenever you feel like eating, and otherwise you just go and you get lost and you get the vibes from this new city, and just you sort of get that energy, and it helps a lot in healing yourself. It helps a lot in doing some self-reflection and finding confidence also in yourself, because building confidence is an entire work in itself. But when you make yourself go out like that and discover a new place and search for places, because also what you can do is to have in your mind 2-3 places that you would like to visit, maybe a museum or maybe a park or something like that. What you will also feel is that by doing so, you will be able to look for those places and communicate to people, and this is something that gives you confidence as well. So it surely did to me in the past. So I think that it is a great idea for developing confidence, for doing some self-care work, and not in the place where you are, but instead in a place that you absolutely do not know. So that was the first tip. The second one is to visit a commercial center, a new one, which is a big one, and just walk around into the commercial center, do some window shopping, make sure you do not buy anything, or maybe you can just allow yourself to buy things as well, but have something clear in your mind what it is that you need right now, so that you do not end up spending too much money. The idea here is to get inspiration from the different clothes and decors and shoes and all those things that you find in such commercial centers. And this is a great self-care activity as well, and especially if you do that in a center where you do not go generally, and you just go there and you discover those things, you will see that all the items in those shopping centers, they change from place to place. So if it is a place that is far away from your home, you will see how you will find new stuff, new things, and you will get inspired, and that is going to give you ideas to create your own stuff, or maybe to wear your clothes differently, or maybe to just make videos with that. So that's a great way also of spending your time. These two I have done, like I said. Then the next one is to go for a walk or a run. I do not run because I have some issues with my knees, but I do walk a lot. Around my house there are many places I can go for walks, and these past few weeks I have been going for walks, and I have been enjoying those beautiful sceneries and simply listening to the river, to the birds, to the breeze, to every single thing around me. We have such beautiful scenes and colors, and especially now that everything is changing in autumn, it is absolutely beautiful. So that is another thing that you can do if you go out. Number 4 self-care activity is to do some fitness followed by some sauna. And thankfully I am in a fitness where we do have sauna as well, so it is a well-being center or wellness center. That is great, because combining these two is a great way of just going out, doing some fitness, shedding those extra kilos, and then going to the sauna and just relaxing, allowing your body to relax, and of course alternating between hot and cold. But sauna in itself, I feel it is such a spiritual thing, because that allows you to go inwards and to spend your time and simply focusing on your body, focusing on your thoughts, focusing on your heart, how you are feeling. That's a great way of also spending some time on yourself. And the last one is doing some gardening. Gardening is something that I have not done. I do have some plants at home. I have not had the possibility of doing gardening ever, almost. Like, it's been a very long time. Maybe it was back in Pakistan sometime, but now I have not really had the possibility of doing gardening, even though I think that it is a great way, that smell of the earth and the plants and all these things. This is absolutely great, and it is something that brings such beautiful emotions and feelings of feeling connected to the nature. So if you can allow yourself to do some gardening, go for it. That is a great activity to do. I can't for now, but hopefully sometime soon I will be able to also do some more gardening than the one that I do with my little plants at home. Now coming towards the low energy self-care activities, number one is to get a massage, get a haircut, or even your nails done, something like that. Anything that makes you feel special. And I have done this very recently. You can see that on my hair. I was very happy doing this because it is a big change for me. I have never done anything extreme to my hair. I have always been very careful with my hair, and now I was really feeling like I needed some extreme change and I wanted something different. So it was a great way. But my nails, I do them every month, and that is something that is always a great time, having some time just for myself and thinking about, doing my nails, and also talking to the lady who does my nails. We do have a great time together. So this is something very relaxing you can do. As for a massage, I got it back. It was 2 months back, I think, in June, sometime in June. Yeah, so it was 3 months back. I was very tired at that time, and I had this lady who came home and with every single thing. Next time, I think I will go to some place outside because it's a different thing to be in the vibe of this salon and getting a massage done. So yeah, that was the first one. The second one is to go for a long drive, and I don't have a car anymore. I miss it, but I don't miss it at the same time because I'm very happy that I do not have this extra responsibility of a car. I am not ready to take such responsibilities for now. I have enough to do. Going for long drives has been one of my most favorite self-care activities because it is not simply the drive. It is about the music that you listen to at the same time. It is about the sceneries that you have around yourself. It is about maybe also the direction that you are going towards. So if you have a certain precise direction in your mind, or you are simply thinking of going to a mountain, and so all of that adds to that pleasure of having this long drive by yourself. So that is a great way of spending some time with yourself. Another one is to take a walk in a park or in a botanical garden or in a zoo. And this one, even though I have not done this recently by myself, I did go to the botanical garden not a long time ago, but it wasn't for myself, it was more for my kids. But I did that in Singapore when I went there. They have this absolutely beautiful and huge botanical garden, and I went there and I had this long walk. I was extremely tired at the end, but it was so relaxing. All the greenery, all the flowers, all the beauty, and the energy of this forest, it was just amazing. That was absolutely beautiful and one of my best travel memories. Of course, I will be going back to Singapore with my kids this time, and I am excited to do this travel soon, but that was something that I cannot forget. Number 4 is to read a book in a park or in a cafe. And if you're going to a cafe, it's even better to watch people if you can allow that to yourself. That is a great way of simply spending your time watching people, using your imagination to give them different identities, or just think about what are they doing, what kind of profession do they come from, and stuff like that. But have I done that? Maybe on airports sometimes, but not like in cafes like that. I don't really have the habit of going to a cafe and sitting there simply spending time. Maybe I should do that. I have not done that. But reading a book in a park is also something that I have not done. I prefer doing that in my home. Is this something that I would like to do sometime in the future? Maybe going to a cafe and then, observing people and reading a book, or just looking at a magazine at the same time, so that people do not doubt that you are watching them. So number 5 is to spend time in a bookshop, in an art gallery, a museum, or a library. This is a great thing to do, and I think that I will do this sometime this week, because libraries are one of those places where your soul starts to speak. It is so calming and so deeply connecting to yourself. I love exploring different books. I feel like I would like to read all of them. Even though it's not possible, and I don't read that much at all. But the energy in a library is always rejuvenating, it is great, and the time that you spend there is always worth it. Museums and art galleries, it's the same thing. You can give the kind of interpretation that you want to any piece of art, to any piece of that you find in a museum, but at the same time it does have its own history. So using your imagination, using your mind and your creative side, it's always great to spend time doing something like that. So now let's move on towards the indoor activities that you can do to take care of yourself and to connect with yourself. So, indoor activities are my most favorite activities because I'm an introvert and I love spending time at home, reading books and just being. These days I just want to be and live life because I feel like I have not lived life for such a long time, for all those years at least. So since I have been spending also a lot of time indoors, there are so many different activities that I have been doing in order to keep myself grounded and connected with myself and take care of my mind and my emotions and heal at the same time from all my past, especially related to toxic relationships and stuff like that. So the first activity in the category of high energy, which I'm going to start with high energy. And when I say high energy, it does not necessarily mean that it is going to require a lot of energy from you, but it may be something that may require you to move or to do little things. So at home, it does not necessarily mean running at home or dancing at home, but it is going to be activities for which you cannot stay on bed and binge watch a certain series or a TV show. So the first one here is to cook something special for yourself. Is there something that you enjoy eating? Is there something that you really feel like eating these days? I remember back in the past when I was in the process of divorce and all that, I had completely lost touch with all kinds of tastes and I did not even know what I liked and what I did not like. So today, after all those years of work, healing and all that entire process, I am finally getting back into eating and eating with pleasure. So I do take time to cook food that brings me joy, to cook food that makes me feel happy and connected with myself, and I make sure that this food is healthy, and most of the time, to be very honest and in all transparency to share it with you, it is very Asian food, like the noodle soup, like chicken soup, like the instant noodles even, they are very simple to cook, but I add vegetables into it and other such stuff to make it tastier and also spicier because I do like spicy food. And cooking such food for myself and then just enjoying it in front of a certain video or a certain TV show, that brings me a lot of joy. So you can try this out as well. The number 2 high energy activity is to prepare a nice decorative piece for your home, to use your creativity. Is there something that you feel like creating these days? It can be related to, for example, your crockery, or it can be related to other decorative pieces according to the season. Like these days I have been creating different things with my children. They fall into the fall decoration category. And I've been creating different little things simply for the fun of it, simply for the fact that I wanted to connect with my kids and I wanted to connect with my own creative part that I have inside me and that I lost touch with in those past few years. So that's something that is also bringing me a lot of joy and thankfully a lot of happiness. The number 3 high energy. Now this is not really high energy, but it still requires you to do something. So it is to read books, and you can read any kind of books. Right now I am reading a novel, which is this one. This is called Bride of the Sea by Iman Kota. It's the story of a mother who goes away with her little child of 5 years, her little daughter of 5 years. She quits her husband, but she hides herself with her child somewhere. So it's deeply emotional, but at the same time, it is like something that allows me to get out of my own life and get into the life of someone else and see how things are going over there. So This is a great activity to do at home also if you just want to take care of yourself and replenish your mind. Number 4 is to declutter and clean. You can start decluttering at home, getting rid of things that you do not need anymore. I do this often, and every single time I do this, I feel like I get so much more afterwards. So the more you get rid of from your life the things that you do not need and that are costing energy to you, the more God brings into your life after that, because you are letting go of things and you are making space for new things, and it is a great way to feel better afterwards as well. And the last thing on my list is to organize your home organization, like change the setting, like move the furniture. I have done this very often in the past. Right now I'm very satisfied with the way my room looks, with the way my living room looks, and the other day my son did that in his own room by himself, and he put every single thing in place in such a beautiful way. I was really impressed by the way he decided. He took the initiative to change everything in his own room, and then he vacuumed his room and he asked me to come and check how it was, and it was absolutely amazing. I was impressed by a boy that is just 8-year-old to do all of this work. I was very impressed. These kind of activities allow you to change the frequency of the energy around you, and they bring also newness into your life. They add newness to your life. So if you are in the process of taking care of yourself, or you need that just for some time, and you think that this is something that can help you, try it out. It is going to bring you so much happiness, and you are going to feel very rejuvenated afterwards. Now coming towards the low energy self-care activities, I have been doing more of these past few weeks, and this is very impressive because I have been extremely active in the past, and now is time when I feel like I need some rest, and I am tired and I'm exhausted, and I get tired very soon. I'm the kind of person who wants to be productive at all times, but somehow I did feel that I was getting burnt out by doing too much and by expecting too much of me, and doing such low energy activities has also helped me to be grounded and to feel that it is also allowed to sometimes not do anything and unplug and simply focus on your own mental well-being and on how things are around you. Just get inspiration. It's not that you are the only one responsible for every single thing, and that's the way I have thought for a very long time, because that was the kind of phase I was in my life. But today it's no more the case, and I would like to be a little lighter with myself. So the first one that I have been doing lately is to binge watch some series on Netflix, on Disney Plus, and sometimes I've also been watching like movies, and it depends on the kind of mood I am in. I don't watch all of them. I did watch Quantico also on Disney Plus, and yes, so even though generally I'm not at all a passive watcher of TV, but these days I have been allowing that to myself, and it's been a pleasurable activity. It's been something that I'm taking a lot of pleasure in. It should be something that brings some pleasure into your life, and if that is required for me, by my body, by my mind right now, then I don't mind watching it, and that's what I have been doing. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue forever, of course not. That is how it was, and now I'm getting back on track, so of course I'm getting my work done at the same time as well. And number 2 is to work on healing yourself, from meditation to journaling to mindfulness to trauma healing. Do anything that will help you heal your trauma from your past. And very interestingly, this is something that I have not done for the longest time, and only today finally I'm allowing myself to learn more about what traumatized me, what is anxiety, why do I react in a certain way. And I have been keeping myself busy for the longest time, and I did not allow myself to work with a therapist. I did not allow myself to take any medication. I feel like I'm totally always in control. And even though I am, and even though I feel like it is great the way I manage to deal with my life and my situations, there are little things that I do not manage to see, and which I would consider my blind spots. And while I have been doing a lot of self-reflection and writing in my journal, at the same time, I have been identifying those things. I have been doing some shadow work as well, and that has been helping me in identifying what are the behaviors or what are the different kinds of triggers that I face sometimes, and how do I react, and where does that reaction come from, and how am I going to change that. So all of this work is like a lot of healing work, and if you look at it, it is also something that is high energy, because when you work on such level, it is deep work, and it is something that requires a lot of thinking, it requires a lot of going inside of you, and it can be tiring at the same time. So anyway, I have been doing that too, and if you have some time to do such work, of course this is something that should be included in our daily lives, and it is something that we should keep doing. If not on every weekend, at least once a month, we should be doing some kind of healing work. So anyway, that being said, the next activity on my list is to do some spa at home. Have a day when you just relax and you watch something that you like, and you have a bath, a relaxing bath, and you put on a mask, and you just allow yourself to do activities that you want to do. Number 4 is to unplug and listen to some calming music, and maybe diffuse some essential oils so that you have this scent around you that you enjoy, that you like. And along with this is going to help you just relax, and maybe also dim the lights, because dimming the lights also creates this ambience where you can just allow yourself to relax and enjoy the moment and spend time with yourself, by yourself, and taking care of yourself. The last one on my list is to do brain dump, and this means write down every single thing that is coming to your mind. And this is something that I have been doing a lot recently, because I had so many emotions and so much stuff, and there are so many things that you feel like you cannot even say to people directly. You can never say to people because you do not have the occasion to do such a thing, or these are things that are not going to bring any kind of change, or they are not needed to be said, but at the same time they should not stay in your mind, and it's very important to get them out of your mind. And I think that the reason that I managed to manage my emotions well, and that I manage also to be very patient and very relaxed most of the time, and also the fact that I manage to organize my life in a way that I do manage to compartmentalize all my activities, most of it comes from the fact that I write down a lot. And if these are emotions that are tiring me, I will write them down, and I will put them down on a paper. And if there is something that is preoccupying my mind, and I feel like I am overwhelmed by emotions or by the situation that is happening around me, then also I think about what sense am I going to give to this. And that's been the case with me recently when I was thinking about my YouTube and my work and what I wanted to study and how I wanted to spend time with family. And then I was a little lost, and I put every single thing down on paper, and then I thought about how important all of this was to me, and I realized that it was very important for me also to write articles, because that is something that is very close to my heart, and that allows me to do the research, that allows me to learn new things, and also to improve my writing skills. Yes, that's about it. I hope that this video was inspiring for you on some level. For me, a lot of self-reflection brought me to making this video, and I would like to make such longer videos in the future, and at the same time I would like to make videos that can also be helpful to you in some way. So very soon I will be making this video on anxiety, and it's going to be on a book that I have read on anxiety. So I'll be sharing all those skills that I learned in this book. And yes, that's about it for this video. If you liked it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you hopefully in my next video. Until then, take care and keep excelling and keep doing self-care activities. It's very important. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.